Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of Jonesin' for Wins. I'm your host, Craig Havens. As always, I've got Jonathan Almanzar here with me. Today, we're going to talk about the divisions. Since we're on a bye week with the Dallas Cowboys, we're going to talk about the divisions, what's going on in each division. We'll kind of compare them to what we predicted they'd be at this point, well, at the end of the season, and see where we think they might go from here. We're also going to talk about some movement in the divisions, what things might occur. Talk about what we think about some of the teams in each division, and we'll go from there. But should be a good episode. Jonathan, talk to me. What do you think the strongest divisions are right now in the NFL?
NFC East. I'm going to go NFC East, then I'm going to say AFC East, and then I'm going to say the weakest divisions are both Souths.
Is that weird?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it pretty much is. The Titans in the South, both AFC and NFC, the Titans are the only ones with a winning record right now.
Wow. I bet the Eagles have more wins than the whole NFC South.
The East, no, they don't. But the East, in the East side of everything, there is not one team under 500. So in the AFC or the NFC East, there is not one team under 500, including the soon-to-be-for-sale Washington Commanders.
Wow.
Like, who would have thought? I mean, we both said the West would be the place to win. In both divisions, really. I mean, it seemed like you had the Rams, you got the 49ers, you got the Cardinals, and we both thought Seahawks would be a joke. But the Chiefs, Chargers, Broncos, Raiders, I mean, the Raiders are winless. No, they're not. They're 2-5. But how does this happen?
I don't know.
But
magic.
It must be magic. There's magic somewhere in the air that's changing the world, and we're all just puppets in it. So, you want to go through what we had? I'll tell you what we had. Do you remember who your Super Bowl contenders were?
The Cowboys versus the Chiefs.
Both still in it. Do you remember who mine were?
The Cowboys versus the Bills.
That's good. Good memory. All right. So in the AFC, you had the winner of the AFC. How do we do this? I'm going to do division winners.
Okay.
So division winners, you had the Bills, the Bengals. In the South, you had the Colts. In the West, you had the Chiefs.
All still there. All still with a chance.
Yep, I'll still have a chance. That is true, actually. In the NFC, you had the Cowboys, the Vikings. That's a good call.
Thank you.
The Buccaneers, and the Rams.
All still with a chance.
Well,
and I don't think the Rams are going to, but I mean, I think the Bucs are tied for first, right?
And the Bucs are tied for second, but I don't think they have a chance. All right,
no, because Carolina and Atlanta are powerhouses, and they're just gonna.
Thank you. Carolina's on the bottom of the division, by the way. So I had in the AFC the Bills, the Bengals, the Titans, and the Raiders.
Oh, that's the one that doesn't have a chance.
Yeah, that hurt.
So far, you have the only one that doesn't have a chance.
Yeah, you're right. And then I had the Cowboys, the Packers, the Buccaneers, and the Rams.
Wow. You might get 0 in the NFC.
Well, I had the same ones you have almost.
No, you don't.
The Cowboys, the only one I picked was the Packers, who are 3-5. And the Buccaneers is the same you have. And the Rams.
I didn't pick the Rams.
You have, huh?
Did I pick the Rams? Did I pick the Rams?
You picked the Rams? Yeah.
Yeah.
You did
See,
that.
you might go.
You don't think they're going to win it. All right.
You might go for 4.
We have 3 of the same in the NFC, by the way. 3 of the same in the NFC.
As of right now, I have 1 point for this. Half a point for the AFC and a half a point for the NFC.
For the for the wild cards, you've got the Dolphins, the Colts.
That was a good pick.
The Chargers, and the Raiders.
That's a bad pick.
Yeah. You've got the Packers, the Panthers.
Hey, the Panthers, I think, they're only 2 games out of first place. What are you talking about? And that's a 60-yard field goal by some weirdo from Cleveland that can't kick a field goal now.
But that's a wild card. They're not 2 games out of a wild card spot. I mean, they're not even 2 games out of come on. All right, anyways. And you've got the 49ers. I've got the Patriots, who are 4-4. They're still 500.
They're
I've
still
got,
got a chance.
huh?
They still have a chance, yeah.
I've got the Chiefs and the Chargers. Both have winning records.
Yeah.
I've got the Eagles. I've got the Panthers. And I've got the Cardinals.
Yeah. So your NFC's terrible, except for the Eagles. I mean, you picked the Panthers. Are you kidding me?
You and I almost picked the exact same, except I picked the Eagles.
I didn't pick the Cardinals, though.
No, you didn't.
Yeah. Sheesh.
The Cardinals are one game behind
All right.
the 49ers.
I'll give you half a point for the wild card teams.
Man, you're tough. So
6.5 to 3.
our worst teams. This is where I get my other half point.
No, the Browns.
The
Browns just beat the Bengals.
I picked the Browns.
Yeah.
But you picked
So?
Atlanta. Atlanta's in number 1 in their division.
Yeah, but we are not even at the halfway point yet. A lot can change.
How are you getting points?
A lot can change. Are the Browns in last place in their division?
I can tell you they're not in first.
They're not in last,
No, because they got the Steelers in their division.
which was my second choice for the worst team in football.
No, was not.
No, I know.
Which was the Seahawks,
I know.
who are also in first place in their division. So
Yeah.
I'm just throwing this out here. I get a half point, or maybe actually a full point.
No.
First place.
No.
I is in third place in the division. Yours is in first, and then you went bragging about your second team, which is also in first.
If
Yours
you were at the bottom,
500 or better.
no. If your team was the worst team in either of the conferences, then maybe. But maybe you'd get a point. But they're not even the worst team in its own division. So no, I take back my half a point. There's no points given yet. It's too early. It's too early for the worst team. There's no points for the worst team anyway because we have a hammer on the line.
You have a hammer on the line, but that doesn't take away points.
Yeah, no, because that's the
hammer's
rewards.
a big
It's not
point.
points.
The hammer is a solid point. Oh, God. All right.
No. But I will give you this: you're very good at picking bad teams.
That's good.
You
I've won every year.
Consistently
Every year.
good at picking. You can see horrid better than I can. That's true.
I can smell when something is bad.
Yeah, you can spot it.
Mile away.
Yeah.
Kind of like your point score system.
What about it?
It stinks. It's
No.
real bad.
Wait till the end. You see, you keep trying to do things like in the middle of. It's not even finished yet. At the end, you'll see. You'll see the brilliance behind it.
You're taking points. You're taking points.
Right. Well, that's how points happen. They build up, accumulate. We're not going to wait till the end of the year and try to remember week 5.
Wait, for you, we're not going to wait until the end of the year. But for me, we're going to wait till the end of the year because you have a system that is magic.
Just on the worst team. Just on the worst team.
Oh, I got you.
Because we don't know yet. How do we even know?
Man, I don't know. The playing field kind of feels a little bit tilted. It seems unlevel.
Well,
all right. So, talk to me about these teams. You see any of these teams going from worst to first, or moving up some and taking up some? Maybe a leader change. I mean, there's got to be a leader change in here because holy cow,
yeah.
We've got Have we ever had a year where there were so many teams that were 500 or less? I can't imagine we have.
It doesn't feel like it. It doesn't feel like we ever have. I would say if I was going to see some big movers, honestly, that NFC South, I really think any of those teams could win it. Even the moribund Carolina Panthers, I think, could win it. I mean, literally, like I said, they lost to Cleveland by that crazy field goal, and they lost to the Redskins on a dumb play. And weren't they winning this week? And no, that was somebody else that had 3 turnovers at the end of the game. But anyway, I think any one of the teams from the NFC South could win that division. And I really think anyone from the AFC South could win that division. And I think, except Houston, I don't think Houston can win that division. Yeah, the AFC South. would you be surprised if Jacksonville ended up in the playoffs?
I would not be, but I wouldn't put money on it.
No.
I wouldn't be willing to say, hey, I wouldn't even with odds.
And this is not me at all. Like this is not something I normally would do, but I could see I seriously could see Green Bay turning things around and making a run.
I know I could.
I don't want them to.
But I think that was probably the biggest trade surprise to me was them
Yeah.
doing absolutely nothing. I mean, nothing. They're not out of it. I mean, they're not out of it. They're not in it, but they're not out of it. They could have done something. Yeah, and I don't think there's that there's something missing there, and I think Aaron Rodgers is a I think he's a disaster right now. Am I wrong? I mean, he,
Yeah, I mean he's there's something going on there. Real quick, on the big surprise, when you're saying the biggest trade surprise was that Green Bay didn't do anything, I think the biggest trade surprise to me, and I'm being serious, is that the Bears traded away two of their better defensive players. And I thought, okay, that's fine. Yeah, let's stockpile draft picks. But then gave a second round pick for Claypool. That didn't make sense to me at all.
See, I think it does because they want to find out what they have in Fields. They got to give him weapons. You're rebuilding. You got to find Claypool. We know can play. I don't think he's as bad as what people have thought he is because they were a lot of people were thinking that they were crazy for giving up a second for Claypool, but
That's what I'm talking about, though. But then why trade away your defensive players? Like Roquan
because
Smith is young.
I know he is, but he doesn't want to be there. So if he doesn't want to be there, you're going to build around him. So get some draft picks. Let's see what we got with our quarterback. Because if our quarterback can do what we want him to do, then we can move forward with him. If not, then we need to know now. You're not going to know now with what you have on the field. So let's get somebody in here we can throw to and see what we can do with him.
I guess. One other place I see maybe some big changes is what's the AFC North? Who's in first in the AFC North?
AFC North, the first place is actually the Vikings.
AFC North, really?
Oh, AFC.
That is shocking, man.
Yeah, they switched over. They were Seattle last year.
They're like,
Um,
we can win them both. We can win the North, the
absolutely.
AFC, and the NFC.
I mean, realistically, there's three teams over 500 at 500 or better in the two North. So yeah, that might be it. But it's the Ravens.
Okay.
I can see Cincy taking that over. Ravens are at 5-3. Bengals are at 4-4.
Yeah, I could until this last weekend. I think this last weekend changed some things with Baltimore winning and Cincinnati getting blown out by Cleveland, and
Division games
they've lost their power, man.
Nope.
They've lost their power.
Their schedule doesn't get tougher. It gets easier.
Who they
Gonna?
who they play? Who they play?
I think they no Giants play Texans next. I don't remember who they play next. I don't have every stat with me. There's no TV scrolling.
We're going to talk about
studio.
scores here in a little bit. We've got scores here in a little bit anyway, so we'll know then.
Oh yeah.
How about you? Who do you think is changing big time?
I love that.
I know.
So I think if I break it down by divisions, I think the Dolphins move up. The Jets are falling down. Dolphins are actually. I think the Dolphins have increased their power a tremendous amount right now.
With their trades or just in general?
With their trades. I mean, bolster their defense. And quite honestly, I think that swap of running backs really complements Mostert a lot better. So I think they move up. I don't think they're going to overtake the Bills. I think they'll beat the Bills again. And I honestly think, it's tough to beat a team 3 times. But in this scenario, the same Dolphins aren't beating the Bills 3 times. They don't have to because it's a different team. Didn't Tua get hurt during their first game? I thought he got hurt.
Maybe he did. Yeah, he did. And then he got knocked out the next game.
Yeah. And then, so there's a mix there. Mostert wasn't really used as much as Edmonds, so now you're going to see Mostert a different running style, and now you're going to see what's his name Williams from the trade they also made, and their defense changes. So I think there's going to be a lot of different stuff happening. So
yeah,
I do think they move up. I don't think they overtake the Bengals, but I think they make a solid play into the standings in the playoffs. So I think that's one move. I do.
I'm worried. Go. What were you saying?
No, go ahead. You're worried.
Well, I'm worried about the Dolphins in that I feel like Tua is one hit away from the season being done for him.
It's true. It might be a career-ending issue.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be worried if I were him, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah.
The North, I think the Bengals make a move up. I do. I think they end up winning that division. So, but that's
Yep.
in the AFC South. I don't think there's going to be any changes. In the West, I don't think there's going to be any changes. I mean, who's going where?
You don't think Oakland's going to overtake KC?
It might happen. It might. It's possible. I mean, it's such a tight division as we called at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
But I don't think so. This is just me speaking, but I'm. You know what? I'm going to say it. They're not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Okay.
Nope. And it's not Oakland anymore. It's Vegas.
Oh yeah.
So, all right, we're gonna skip the NFC East because I got more to say about that. In the NFC or the NFC East, the NFC North, I don't think there's gonna be a change. You see Green Bay coming up and taking over.
I could, yeah. I mean, I do think Minnesota's built enough of a lead that they're going to end up hanging on to the end, but I wouldn't be shocked if Green Bay took the division.
Well, right now we're gonna find out how tough Vikings really are. I mean, because they've got some challenging games ahead of them. Yeah, they play their own division, but they play the Giants, they play us, they play.
That's who got 3 turnovers in the fourth quarter against the Cardinals. The Cardinals turned the ball over 3 times in the fourth quarter for them to win. The Vikings.
Well, I mean, did the Vikings turn it over, or did the Cardinals turn it over, or did the Vikings take them away? I didn't see it.
No, Cardinals turned them over.
All right. The South, I don't see a change. I don't even know if I.
You think Atlanta's just going to win that division? You think Atlanta?
I do.
You think Mariota led Atlanta Falcons are going to win the South?
I do.
Whew. You should go put some money on that.
You think Tampa Bay is going to come back and win? I mean, they've been a disaster. They've been a.
I think Tampa, New Orleans, or Carolina could beat Atlanta for it.
I'm not arguing, but they haven't beat them yet. I don't think there's a change. So what's your change there? What's your change in the South? Where are we going?
Atlanta finishes in last place.
That's for a point. And that's last. That's a point take deduction for you.
If they don't finish in last place in their division?
Yep.
Yeah, fine. I'll take it.
What were you saying?
How did they trade Ridley?
He's suspended. They traded him. They traded him, and I forgot who took him, but they gave him a draft pick for a who may not come back, who didn't want to play football anymore. So
Jacksonville, he's suspended. He's suspended for the entire season. So Jacksonville trades, and they give him I think they gave a second and a third, both conditional for him. If he plays next year, they get a third or something, and if he plays 2 years, they get a second. But my question is, if he's suspended for the whole year, why now? Why give something for him now?
At the trade deadline. Yeah.
Why not wait until the summer?
Yeah. When there's no question, when you can actually find out whether he's actually going to even try to come back. Because I don't even think he tries to come back. I think he's the next, what's that, Josh, what was that kid from?
Josh Gordon.
Yeah.
Josh Gordon.
Yeah, I think he's like Josh Gordon. I don't. Man, I really like that kid too, Ridley. I really thought. I wish the Cowboys had drafted him, but they shan't.
Yeah, they shan't. So I think they shan't the bed. So I think he hasn't even he has to apply for reinstatement, and he hasn't even done that yet. So I thought that was bizarre.
I'd be surprised if he comes back. He didn't want to play anymore. All right. South, no change. You say Atlanta goes and becomes last. Who wins that division in your mind?
I don't know yet. It's too early to tell.
All right. In the West, I think the 49ers move up, take over the division.
Over the Seahawks?
Yep. Yep, I do. I think, and I'm not a big Christian McCaffrey fan, but they're using him right. He's happy. I don't think he gets injured this year. I think Garoppolo's got a new best friend. So
the thing that has me worried about San Francisco,
yeah,
their best players, Christian McCaffrey, Has he ever played a full season in the NFL?
Nope.
George Kittle. Has he ever played a full season in the NFL?
I don't know, honestly.
No way. I feel like he's injured all the time. Uh, Jimmy Garoppolo. He never finishes a season.
He didn't. He wouldn't finish. I mean, technically, he wouldn't play a full season now. He didn't start the season.
And then Brandon Ayuk, or
Yeah.
they're two little weird wide receiver people. That one right. What's the guy that everybody says is so good that's not really Debo Samuel?
Yeah.
He takes a lot of hits for a wide receiver.
Yeah, he does. Well, he runs a lot of things. Yeah. So I still think they move up. I think Christian McCaffrey made a big difference for them. It's a different. I think he's kind of re-energized them. So now back to the NFC East. I'm calling it now. I do believe the Cowboys overtake. This may be a dream, and I'm sure it's a homer call, but I see them taking the division. I see Philly. They were given the easiest schedule in the NFL. Whatever. They didn't ask for it. They got it, and good for them.
They paid for it. They didn't ask for it. They paid for it. They earned it. They earned it last year.
They
earned the easiest schedule.
I'm not complaining. Hell, I wish we had the easiest. We didn't have a difficult schedule, so I'm going with this B attacking me. Philly's got. I think they've got at least. I think they've got 3 losses in them. I think they're going to. It's going to be close between Green Bay. If they overlook Green Bay, which is a possibility, Green Bay could beat them. And they've got Tennessee right behind it. So I'm going to say they win Green Bay or they win Tennessee. One of the two they lose. That's 1 loss. Then I've got them losing to the Cowboys. And they split with the Giants. I don't think any of that is unreasonable.
No, I don't think any of it's unreasonable. I think they could lose. I think they could lose to the Redskins. I mean, I think any of those NFC East teams
can lose to the Redskins.
I do think the Cowboys will beat
lose them. Lose to the Commanders.
I think that.
Lose a point.
So you think that they've got 3 losses? So you don't think the Cowboys are losing again this season?
I didn't say that. I think the Cowboys have a loss in them. I think it's going to be my belief is they may lose to the Titans in the end.
Okay.
That puts them at 14-3. It puts the Eagles at 14-3. Cowboys would have a better division record.
Okay.
So that would put them on top of the division. Now, I'm not asking for a miracle here either. This is they beat the Packers, they beat the Vikings. They beat the Giants, which we've always played well against the Giants. They've always played well against that. They haven't suited me up yet. They beat the Colts. They beat the Texans, both very winnable games. The Jaguars, also winnable. I don't believe the Eagles beat the Cowboys twice, so that's winnable. The Titans is going to be a good game. I do believe it. I mean, Derrick Henry's a monster, so. And then they play the Commanders as the last game. So I think it's very doable. I mean, the Eagles have Houston, Washington, at Indy, Green Bay, Tennessee, at Giants, at Chicago, Cowboys, Saints, and Giants. At Cowboys. So, I mean, they don't have a tough schedule, but they have some tough games in there. I'm saying Tennessee could beat both Cowboys and the Eagles. I mean, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but it's.
They could lose to the Saints. The Eagles could lose to the Saints.
Yeah, they could.
The Saints just beat your Las Vegas Raiders 29-0.
Actually, it was a good win for a team that needed to win that game.
Yeah, Andy Dalton, man. Yeah, I think I didn't give my AFC East pick, did I?
No, you didn't.
NFC East. I think it'll stay the same. I think the Eagles, except I think the Eagles will finish 14-2.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Eagles will finish 15-2, and the Cowboys will finish 14-3.
Who do you have the Eagles losing to?
The Cowboys, and one of the just a random team like the Saints.
So you think they beat the Giants twice? They beat the Cowboys once. All right.
Yeah. All right. No. And then I think the Cowboys lose 2 more games. I think they lose to Green Bay and one of those weirdo South teams.
Well, that would put them at at 13-4.
That's what. Yeah, 13-4. That's what I think they'll be.
Okay. All right. Question we've talked about: who wishes they'd retired more? Aaron
Ooh.
Rodgers,
Okay.
Tom Brady, Al
Okay.
Michaels.
Al Michaels, hands down. He has the Thursday night games. There hasn't been a good one yet. He's with that Muppet-looking dude. What's his name? Kirk Herbstreit, who knows nothing about the NFL. It's like he's yeah. I think it's got to be Al Michaels. I bet you he's just like, this sucks.
Oh, I bet
He's the
you he's
worst year.
like, this sucks, but I think there's going to be a movement towards Thursday night. I think someone's coming over there. They've got to put somebody on there.
Oh man,
It's one of those
he's
deals where
not
you
even
put
hiding it anymore. He's just like, this is the worst football I've ever seen. Like, I mean, it seems like every game they get has two backup quarterbacks.
Well, look at the one we got now. We got Philly at Houston.
Yeah, that's
nail
a
biter.
terrible game.
How does I don't want to talk about the NFL scheduling. It seems weird. I get why we schedule what we schedule, but how we do the Thursday night games.
Yeah,
And I get that, Denver's got so many prime games, but just because they got Wilson, it didn't mean they were going to be good. In fact, it proved it. They weren't going to be good.
so I think Al Michaels is one. I wonder if Russell Wilson is wishing he had retired.
That's a good one. I'll bet you he is. That would be my winner right there. Russell Wilson. Sold.
Okay. Who would have been your choice, though?
My choice would have been Tom Brady. Yeah. I think, at some point, I think you just say, why am I here? He's done everything. That team is not ready to win a Super Bowl. He wants to go out winning a Super Bowl, and he should have retired when he did 2 years ago.
Yeah. And was it worth his marriage?
I don't think anything's worth a marriage, to be honest with you.
There's no season worth his marriage. Like, think about that. He chose to come back to the. I wonder if he tells those guys that, like, when he was yelling at his lineman, he was like, "You cost me my kids."
He's got a picture of her on the bench on every seat.
Yeah, he's like, "This is what you cost me.
Costing me. What's it costing you? Give me your wife."
You can't even block.
So, let's take a look at what we got coming up here. We've got some games coming up, and you and I are going to pick them. Are we going point for point, or is it mid-season? I can't get points, but you can.
Well, you can't get the points before the game ends. Like, we're not giving points on.
Of course not.
How you chose them.
I'm not saying I am, but I'm just saying when we review these next week, I think I need some points back. But whatever. You'll probably be like, you called the Eagles. I went on a whim and I picked the Texans, and so I shouldn't lose a point for that. All right.
We'll see, because we'll see. Like, you can't just claim that you deserve points until we know what happens in the games. Like, if you lose every one of these, you don't deserve any points.
Eagles, Texans.
What's the spread? Are we picking against the spread, or
we are not picking? We're picking. We're going to pick the team, and then I want a score from you. The score I just came up with, so I got to put another column in here.
It's Thursday night, right?
Yeah. I mean, we literally just talked about that. I thought that would have been easy, but yeah.
So I'm going to say the Eagles 35, the Texans 16.
Good. I'm going Eagles. I'm going also 30. You know what? No, I'm going 31. And I'm going Texans 9. Lame score because nobody's kicking. When you're down that much, you're not kicking 3 field goals. Not going to end the game in a field goal, but whatever.
Well, I picked 3 field goals and a touchdown, so.
Yeah, I know, but you could have gotten the 3 field goals, and now you're trying to score quick to get the touchdowns. But I went lame. I might have a field goal, and then they get a touchdown and go for 2. So that's where I'm at. All right. Chargers at Falcons.
Chargers at Falcons. Chargers 24.
Wait, you're picking the Chargers?
Yeah.
Team you're choosing to win first, so I can put it in. I'm not scratching
Chargers
things up.
24. Falcons 13.
All right. I've got Falcons winning 24-17. I don't. I
Don't
think
the Chargers have a better record than the Falcons even?
by a tie, a half a game.
Who tied? Wait, who tied?
I don't remember who they tied.
No, wait, which one of these teams tied? Chargers didn't tie.
No, the Falcons tied somebody. I think they did. Hold on.
Falcons didn't tie.
Yeah, maybe I lied. Falcons are not tied. It doesn't
I
matter.
think the Falcons are like 4-4, and the Chargers are like 5-3 or something.
Falcons are 4-4, and the Chargers are 4-3.
Yeah.
Half a game. 4-4 to 4-3. Half a game, no tie. All right. Dolphins at Bears.
At Bears. I'm gonna say the Bears win
Wow.
21-20.
I'm picking the Dolphins, and then picking them. I'm gonna pick them 38-16.
Wow. We're very
Bears
divergent
went
on that one.
two-point conversions a lot.
Yeah.
So I got 38-16. Panthers at Bengals.
Who?
Your Panthers at the Bengals. They need the wins, don't forget, because they gotta put the
13-10 Panthers.
what's that?
13-10 Panthers.
All right, I've got the Bengals, and I'm going 21-17.
Wow.
You got Packers at Lions.
This would be a time for the Lions if they're ever going to beat Green Bay. This is their game, right?
Really thought we were gonna split this one.
This is their game to win if they're ever going to beat Green Bay.
Yep. I mean, they're one and.
Oh, man. I'm going to say.
Are you going with the Lions?
No, I'm saying it's a tie. 27-27. I think the Lions score a touchdown. The Panthers block the extra point. The Packers block the extra point, and it goes into overtime, and no one scores.
Wow. You're calling a tie. All right. I'm going with the Lions, and I can't complain too much about Green Bay's defense. So I'm going to go 17-10. Raiders at Jaguars.
These are tough, man.
Yeah. The whole freaking NFL is in the 500 range. It's weird.
So I really want to pick the Raiders, but they just got blown out 29-0. I really want to pick the Jaguars because I thought they were good all season, but man, they find ways to lose, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
How many ties? What's the most ties ever in one weekend?
I'm gonna guess it was 2. I think there was a time when it was 2, and
I almost want to go 3-3. Raiders.
I mean,
No,
wait, you can't go 3-3 Raiders.
No, I'm gonna go Raiders. Raiders 28, Jaguars 4.
I went Jaguars 9-6. I think that's going to be an extremely boring game. And I don't think it's going to be all defense. I think it's just going to be riddled with mistakes.
Yeah. And when I called 4, I don't think they get 2 safeties. I think that Jerome Boger is the ref. And
Yeah, how'd you
their
get
penalty,
4? I just wrote it down without even thinking.
I don't think this is what I think happens. I think Jerome Bogart, it's his team that's reffing. Okay. I think the Jaguars kick a field goal, and then they just line up and kick an extra point, and it just goes right over his head. He doesn't even recognize it. He's just blah, blah. And then after the game, when they say, "How did you let them kick an extra point to their field goal?" He's going to be like, "Well, I mean, who's playing?
The Jaguars and the um, Raiders.
Las Vegas Raiders. Oh, that sucks because there's not even a baseball team for me to use. The Las Vegas Stars, they had a bench clearing ball, and so we didn't know it. Something like that is what's going to happen.
Is that the Royals? No, not the Royals.
Las Vegas Stars is the hockey team.
Yeah. All right. I don't know where I got Royal. I know where I got Royals, but all right. Colts at Patriots.
Patriots 20. Colts have that Sam Ellinger now as their quarterback, right?
Yeah.
Colts 13.
All right. I said it before. I don't know that the Patriots are really going to win that much this year. I'm going with the Colts. I think this is another one
Behind
of
Sam
those half
Ellinger.
game deals where it's like 3-4. The Colts are what? I gotta go to my cheat sheet. Colts are 3-4, and the Patriots are 4-4. So yeah, I'm not bad saying the Colts. I'm saying the Colts in a big upset. It's gonna be 17-14.
I don't think it's a big upset when one team's 3-4 and the other team's 4-4.
Oh, it's a big upset.
Yeah.
It's huge. All right, Bills at Jets.
Bills 42. No, Bills 28. Sorry, Bills 28. Jets 3.
I got also the Bills, 35-17.
Yeah.
I got Vikings at Washington.
Isn't it weird that all these quarterbacks are like Heineke and Ellinger, and the Kirk Cousins is like one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL right now?
We don't have
That's
Zappy
so.
playing now, so yeah. Yeah, it is weird that he is. He,
I guess I'll go with one of these days. The Vikings' luck has to turn around. So could it be this game?
I think
No,
it's coming.
I'm gonna say the Vikings still win. They're gonna win 20-19.
That's a good score. I got 2017. I also have the Vikings, by the way.
Okay.
Seahawks, Carter, because they've always been close. I don't think the Vikings had a game more than
No,
points. I'm sure they have, but it doesn't seem like it.
never. Yeah.
Ever in their history, right? So, Seahawks, Cardinals. Seahawks at Cardinals.
I'm gonna say Seahawks 31, Cardinals 28.
Man, you got that as a high scoring game, don't you? I got 24-13 Seahawks. Rams, Bucks.
Ugh.
Exactly.
Where? It doesn't matter.
It's
a home game.
it's done by you. It's in Tampa.
It's a home game for Tampa either way. 10-7 Tampa.
Wow. 10-7 Tampa. I've got Rams 21-14. Titans at Chiefs.
Kansas City 27. Is what's the Titans quarterback that I saw in the airport? What's his name?
Um, He's the kid that used to be in Florida, in
Christian
Miami.
Ponder.
What's that?
Christian Ponder.
Wait, no, the when
Tannehill.
yeah,
Ryan
Tannehill.
I think, is he back, or are they still playing with? Who's their backup?
I don't know. I didn't know he was out.
Yeah, he didn't play last week. Oh, it was the kid from Liberty, Malik Willis
Ah,
or something. I think they'll only score 9 points.
27-9, you say? I've got the Titans, 31-27, nail biter at the end. At the end, I think the Chiefs start to. Oh, we both have the Chiefs scoring 27, by the way.
You
I think that the Chiefs are going to start high, and it's going to look like it's going to be a blowout by the Chiefs, and the Titans come back.
Do you think that the Chiefs are going to lose 2 games to AFC South opponents?
I didn't think that the Green Bay Packers would lose 2 games in a row to New York teams. Did you?
No, I don't know why you asked that, but I'm just asking. Do you think? So you think that they'll lose to 2 AFC South teams?
Yeah, but the AFC South teams, one of them is a 5-2 team. It's not like we're talking about the Colt. Well, they did.
They're not 5-2.
Huh?
Who's 5-2?
They're both same record.
No, they're not, because the Titans tied somebody.
They're 5-2, and the Titans are 5-2.
Didn't the Titans tie Jacksonville at the beginning of the season?
I mean, we can look it up again, but I'll look it up for a different time. There's no need for everyone to figure out arguing over this. I'm sure someone will yell at me. Then we got the Ravens against the Saints.
Okay. I'm going to say, where is it at?
It's in New Orleans.
I'm going to say New Orleans 17. No, New Orleans 24, the Ravens 13.
I got 26-14, by the way.
Who?
I've got the Saints also winning.
Wow, we both did that, huh?
Yeah, I did 26-14. You did 24-13. And that's that. So I want major points when this comes. We've got a few differences.
We have a lot of differences.
Yeah, we've got the Chargers-Falcons difference, the Dolphins-Bears difference. We've got you picked the Panthers over the Bengals. You picked a tie. Oh my gosh, we've got almost all of them. I should count the ones we have the same. This is horrible. We got the Bills and the Eagles the same, I think, and the Vikings the same, Seahawks the same, and the Saints the same. That's bad. This should be good. This is good for points next week. I might take over the lead.
I mean, you get 1 point, like if you win the weekend, right?
What's that?
You get a point for winning the weekend. You don't get a point per game. That's ridiculous. So we'd be playing all kinds of little games like this. I say this. I say there's a point for the craziest pick and a point for whoever got the most right.
I want your shooting star for the rest of the season.
For the rest of the season.
I want to hear something absurd that's going to happen this season.
For the Cowboys?
For any team. Just any team. I don't care what it is. I haven't even thought about mine. So I need to hear what you think is going to be amazing this season.
Oh, man, there's so many opportunities. I think
it could be that the Bills just drop and end up in last place. It could be that.
Before we get to that, I do want to actually admit that you might be right at something that I've been making fun of you for the entire year. Justin Fields might be better than Trevor Lawrence.
Wow.
Trevor Lawrence just doesn't have it, I don't think. And the I'm talking about is he makes so many mistakes around the goal line that it's really makes me nervous. So my shooting star prediction is Gardner Minshew will start for a team in the playoffs. That's my shooting star.
Nice. All right.
I don't know if it'll be the Eagles, but I think Gardner Minshew will start for a team in the playoffs.
Mine is that one of the teams with a sub 500 record right now will make a run in the playoffs.
Okay.
So I'm going to pick the team now.
Tampa.
No. I picked the Saints before I picked Tampa.
The Raiders.
They're going to win that division, I'm telling you. I'm going to go with... I'm going to go with the Saints. I'm picking the Saints, make a run, and find themselves in the playoffs and getting... I'm putting them to the championship game.
What? Who's their starting quarterback?
It doesn't matter.
No, but I want to know who you think is going to be the starting quarterback for that. Is it Andy Dalton, Jameis Winston, that white kid from BYU?
It's right now. It's Andy Dalton, so I'm going to go with Jameis Winston. I'd like to see there. I think but I mean, Andy Dalton's won the job, so we're going to have to go with him. Might be Taysom Hill. Who knows? But
yeah. The
Saints are going to play trickery to get themselves into the playoffs, and they're going to surprise people. And this is honestly, I just came up with this now, so I've got no stats to back this up. Haven't thought it out. Have not looked at too much of their anything to do this call, but there's a question I came up with now. So we'll see. Anybody watching is welcome to comment below and tell us what they think on any of it. But thanks for watching. If you liked it, like us, subscribe, share us with your friends. Have a great day.